Hello everyone, I am Suresh Jagtap, Junior College Teacher at Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, Satara. I welcome all of you in Rayat Online School Education, that is ROSE Project 2021-22. This project has been started by our Samstha, keeping in mind to fulfill the educational needs of not only the students of Rayat, but also of those students who are learning in the corner of Maharashtra. Today we are going to learn the topic figures of speech. Though this topic is not included in our syllabus separately, but if you have seen the nature of question paper, in that question paper, question number 3, which deals with poetry section, there are 5 questions, and among these 5 questions, question number A4 and A5 are related to this topic. In question number A4, you will be asked to write poetic devices used in the poem, and in question A5, you will be given a task of writing 4 poetic lines of your own on the given topic. In question number 3B, while writing critical appreciation of the given poem and the poetic devices used in that poem, you will also get help of this topic. Let's begin with objectives of this lesson. The main purpose of this lecture is to enable students to identify the figure of speech, to enable students to explain the figure of speech, to enable students to enjoy figurative use of language, to enable students to use figurative language in his own poetic creation. These are the general objectives of learning this lesson. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify figures of speech. He will explain it, he will enjoy the figurative use of language, and at the same time, he will use these figures of speech in his own poetic creation. Let's see about what is a figure of speech. Students, as you know, all languages follow certain rules, but while conveying an emphasis of a word or a phrase, these rules of languages are purposefully departed, and new innovations are implemented in writing for giving emphasis. These new innovations in English are called as a figure of speech. A figure of speech is a departure from an ordinary form of expression or the ordinary course of ideas in order to produce a greater effect. Cambridge Dictionary defines figure of speech as it is an expression that uses words to mean something different from their ordinary meaning. What is the importance of figure of speech? Poet uses different poetic devices. Why do a poet use these poetic devices? Its reasons are different. Look at these reasons. It enhances the beauty of the writing. When he uses all of these poetic devices in his writing, definitely it enhances the beauty of the writing. We can also call here as it is an artistic use of language in his writing. It makes the sentence deeper and leaves the reader with a wonder. It brings life to the words used by the writer. It not only shows a writer's intent, but also his purpose of using such language. It adds flavor to the writing and makes it enjoyable. There are various types of figure of speech. Which are they? Simile, metaphor, alliteration, antithesis, inversion, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, repetition, personification, rhetorical question, paradox, apostrophe, free verse, synecdoche, metonymy. Let's begin with simile. A simile is a figure of speech in which two things of a different nature are directly compared. We use the word like or as to make the comparison. We should note here one thing. In this figure of speech, two things are compared. They are having different nature, and the words like and as are used to make comparison. See the examples. My love is like a red rose. Now here two different things. First is my love, which is related to the beloved of the poet, and red rose has the qualities of flower. Now a person is compared with a red rose for creation of the poetic effect. They fought like cats and dogs. He is as funny as a barrel of monkeys. She is as sweet as angel. The second is metaphor. Metaphor is also having the qualities of simile. It has also comparison, but this comparison is with the help of implied simile. It states as if two things are one. It seems difficult to separate them from each other. In simile, words as and like are used to make comparison, but in metaphor, these words are not used, but comparison is made between two things. Life is a highway. Now look at this example. Now two different words are compared here, life and highway. But these two examples or this sentence clearly indicates that there is something common. When we think of life, definitely it is having the similar qualities of highway. Life is like a highway because life is regarded as a road here, for it in which way it goes forever. Now this makes the metaphor very effective. Her eyes were diamonds. The calm lake was a river. The sunshine of her smile. All these examples are definitely important to understand metaphor. The next is alliteration. In this figure of speech, a sound is repeated pleasingly. It is generally a repetition of consonant sound in the neighboring words. This definition clears that a consonant sound is repeated at the beginning to create poetic effect. The bright birds flew by fond love. Purple pandas painted portraits. David's dog drank dirty water. My friend foolishly forgot to take the first photo. Look at these examples. In every example, for example, the first example, there is B, B, F, F. These sounds are repeated for poetic effect. Next is antithesis. It is a figure of speech in which sharply contrasting ideas are expressed in a balanced grammatical order. Two words, two ideas, or two things are used here for showing antithesis. Patience is bitter, but it has a sweet fruit. Look at these words, bitter and sweet are used in contrast to each other. Man proposes, God disposes. To err is human, to forgive divine. Love is an ideal thing, marriage a real thing. All these examples are of antithesis. Think of inversion. Inversion is a term used to refer to the inverting of the normal word order in a poetic line, phrase, or to create poetic effect. In this figure of speech, normally word order is changed for creating poetic effect. Let's see the examples. 10,000 saw I at a glance. If we write this sentence in a normal word order, it would be I saw 10,000 at a glance. Shocked I was shocked. How amazing this is. An excellent decision she made there. The next is hyperbole. It is often used to make something sound much bigger and better than it actually is, or to make something sound much more dramatic. It is an overstatement or an exaggeration. Examples: I am so hungry, I could eat a horse. Now it is shown that how hungry you are, and for showing this hunger, this statement is given. I am hungry. If we are so much hungry, even in that case, we could not eat a horse. But to create poetic effect and to show hunger, this statement is used. She is as old as the hills. New York is the city that never sleeps. He has the memory of an elephant. The next is onomatopoeia. It is the figure of speech where the word is used to describe the sound. When we explain any action by putting the sounds into language, it is known as onomatopoeia. Now, words are the indications of the sound itself. Let's see the examples. The birds chirp filled the empty night air. Birds chirp. Chirp is a word used to show the sound of that bird. Her heels clacked on the hardwood floor. Someone is knocking on the door. It is not unusual for a dog to bark when visitors arrive. All these words, clacked, knocking, and bark, show the sound of the term itself. The next important figure of speech is a repetition. In repetition and alliteration, there is difference because in alliteration, consonant sound is repeated at the beginning of a word, but in repetition, the word is repeated for the creation of poetic effect. Repetition is a literary device that involves using the same word or phrase over and over again in a piece of writing or speech. Examples: water, water everywhere, all the boats did sink. O captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. The sad truth is that the truth is sad. Next is personification. In this figure of speech, human qualities and feelings are attributed to an inanimate or non-human things. Let's see the examples. Dancing and whirling, the little leaves went. Dancing is the nature of human beings. We can dance, and this dancing quality is attributed to non-human thing, that is leaves, for the creation of poetic effect. My house is a friend who protects me. My flowers were begging for water. The leaves waved in the wind. These are the examples of personification. The next is a rhetorical question. It is a figure of speech in which language is made artistically rich with ornamentation. Here is a question asked only to gain an effect and not expecting any answer. Answer is not expected in the question. The answer is itself in the question. Look at the examples. How could I be so stupid? The poet says here that he is not stupid. What is your college doing to improve test scores? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? The next is paradox. Paradox is a figure of speech in which a truth is conveyed under the form of an apparent absurdity of contradiction. The child is the father of man. When we read this statement, it looks like absurdity, or it creates absurdity in our mind, because how can be a child the father of man? But when we think about this statement, then it gives us meaning, and adulthood is the result of our childhood. In which way we are given treatment in our childhood, it definitely results in our adulthood. So it is said children should be given good treatment in their childhood. They should not be treated cruelly And this can have a sense for the statement. You will kill him with your kindness. This is the second example. Freedom is slavery, war is peace. Apostrophe. Addressing someone absent, dead, or non-human as if that person or thing were present. In this statement, dead persons, absent persons, or non-humans are addressed in such a way that they are present there. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. O Captain, my Captain, these words were addressed by Walt Whitman in his poem, O Captain, my Captain, to Abraham Lincoln when he was killed brutally. Little flower, why are you smiling? Now flowers are addressed here and they are asked a question. Now look at free verse. Free verse means poetry that is free from limitations of a regular meter or rhythm and does not rhyme with fixed forms. Now in free verse, generally the rules of poetry are not at all followed. They are broken and new creations are made by the poet. Let's see the example. Let's go, then you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky. The next is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase that refers to a part of something is substituted to stand in for the whole or vice versa. Let's see the examples. The brains helped me with my homework. Now here brain is a part of our human body, but when we use this word, it refers to the person. The Indian cricket team is positive in attitude. Here the Indian cricket team is related to the players of the Indian cricket team. The captain commands 100 sails. Here, these examples can clearly make this concept clear. Now, metonymy. Metonymy is a type of figurative language in which an object or concept is referred not by its own name, but instead by the name of something closely associated with it. Now here words are used and they show the meaning of that particular word. The pen is mightier than the sword. Here pen is related to the words written by the writer and sword is related to violence. Pens are definitely mightier. It means that words are very powerful. We should use them very carefully. Otherwise, others will be hurt because of our words. The White House declined to comment. The White House here, it is related to the President of America. Wall Street prefers lower taxes. Next one is imagery. Imagery is the author's use of language that appeals to the five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, in order to help the reader imagine exactly what is being described. The writer uses some words, and when we read those words, at that time we create a picture in our mind of those words. The pillow was a cloud when I put my head upon it. Look at the word cloud. When this word is read, we can imagine the picture of cloud in our mind. It was a dark and dim in the forest. The fresh and juicy oranges are very cold and sweet. The children were screaming and shouting in the fields. These are the examples of imagery. Thank you very much for listening to the lecture carefully. I request all of you to write down all of these figures of speech in your notebook and try to solve the test which is given at the end of this lecture. Once again, thank you very much.